My hair looks a little bit fucked up. That's simply just because I was wearing a bonnet, and I'm actually, trying to take care of my hair now and make sure, like, all good and shit. Get that ass out of there. But I'm trying to make sure my hair's all good and shit. So, if the bonnet, or if the hair looks fucked up, it's because I was wearing a bonnet and I have just a lot of hair. But, anyways, we're gonna get into, like, kind of the main thing here. The main thing. My monitor right here has me, so sometimes I'm just going to be looking at that instinctively. That's just what I do. I don't know why I do it. It's just a bad habit, but also my microphone's right here, so I got to make sure I'm, like, speaking into my microphone and shit. But other than that, let's just get into, like, the actual main topic of the video here. So yeah, a lot is going to be changing. As the video says, a lot is going to be changing. And I know I'm uploading this literally just after I posted another video on this channel. So, hey, I'm getting consistent. But, yeah, no. So, I want to talk about some things that are happening on this channel. And a lot of these things, probably going to take my glasses off because my eyes are hurting, sorry. But a lot of these things are going to be... how do I explain it? Basically, there's a lot of things that's personal about me. And then there's going to be another half of this video, which if you follow the 011 channel, you will hear similar things being said in the other half of this video. But I want to talk about this right now. Keep in mind, a lot of this stuff that I'm saying right now, it is not 100% official. I'm saying this because from what I have learned and studied and reviewed and researched and all that stuff, what I have figured out so far, it is very, 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 very likely that these things are going to be happening. But first, I want to just talk about what I had first mentioned in the last, update here about school. I had said that I had fundamentally dropped out of school, is basically how I described it. I fundamentally did, but didn't drop out of school. And I want to talk about that first because I just want to clear up some stuff. So when I posted that was last week, and a week passes. Well, brain, sorry, but I posted that a week after I did that, right? Because I just want to talk about it. And this week on Monday. This is of course on Friday, or not Friday, Thursday of last week, I had gotten contacted by the assistant principal of my school, and afterwards, we decided on Monday we were going to have a meeting. My mom also decided to attend the meeting. Both my parents kind of just knew I wasn't attending, but my mom had much more concern about the education part. She understands why, and even if she doesn't fully agree with it, she's at least going to be supportive of it and going to be making sure I get my shit done. My dad, on the other hand, we're not going to really mention him, but my mom wanted to attend the meeting as well, so we were all there, and the assistant principal, the meetings were stretched out between 2, technically 3 days. So on Monday when we got there, the assistant principal respected the fact that I just didn't really want to be in the building anymore, but also wanted to be sure that, attendance-wise, I wasn't going to be fucked, and also I could get my actual education. So what ended up happening was, in the system, this has barely happened. I'm actually the first person they did this for, because they knew just how dire my situation was. I'm very open with my mental health. I've just been realizing I used advocate incorrectly here, but I'm trying to think of a different word. I really push out the idea that you should have good mental health. I really want to be sure that in terms of mental health, you guys are all good, right? And if you are within my Discord server, I'm pretty sure I've made an announcement. I'm going to be honest, I don't really talk a lot in my server. I should probably start doing that. Be more consistent instead of just saying, hey, I'm streaming. Hey, I posted a video. and the very rare every now and then just like, hey, here's an update, a little mini update and stuff. I should probably be more consistent on my server. But I always try to say, like, if you ever need someone to talk to, like, or at least someone to even just like vent about, you can consider me an open option. Like, I just want to be sure everyone mental health wise is good. And obviously, at the end of the day, I'm just a stranger on the internet. But that's like that's how much I am, like, really committed to the idea of good mental health and proper study of mental health, because also mental health gets a pretty disregarded a lot of the time, especially because my generation especially has a lot of mental health problems. So I feel like mental health is very important. But I have been suffering with very terrible mental health issues, and this year was just a breaking point, which is why I left attending school. My teacher, my assistant principal, she was very understanding of why I wasn't attending, but there was the attendance problem, even though truancy is a thing, and you can go to court. You as a student can go to court for not attending a certain amount of days, even though I fit the exception, but at the same time I don't fit the exception. I don't know, there's just a lot of like weird political black magic to that. I don't really know if I'm an exception or not an exception or something like that. Anyways, but basically, the alternative was all the current grades I had for all my classes would be paused. I would basically finish with those grades. I would do my credit retrieval program, and all I would have to do is just do nothing but my credit retrieval program, just fucking hammer it on that shit. As soon as I'm done with my credit retrieval program and got back all the credits I need, doesn't matter what day it is, I am done with school. And I graduate. I get my diploma. But I would have to attend school every day. I just wouldn't be attending my classes. I would just be chilling in the office for an entire school day. Just so that they can like be sure not only am I 100% doing the work, but also like I get a nice quiet space. I'm not distracted in anything. So that way I can just quickly get in, get it done, get out. I was very shocked they actually were willing to work with me on this. And I agreed to it because like they actually provided a very good alternative, because like even though I'm still attending the building, at least I'm not going to my classes, which honestly dealing with my teachers was a massive problem for me. Except for some teachers, because some teachers were cool. But like most teachers just can't, dude. I couldn't. So I ended up taking up the offer. It was a good offer. So that was that. But the meeting wasn't technically finished. It just was extended another day. I got all the information I needed for the credit retrieval stuff and just education stuff in general, all my grades. Perfect. Then, day two. Day two rolls around. Tuesday. The second half of the meeting kind of happens. And that one was more specifically about my attendance. And yeah, it was pretty much just mainly about my attendance. The first meeting Monday was all about just clearing everything up for the education part. Now the attendance part, they wanted to kind of understand. And basically, I just keep showing up till I do all the stuff, and then I leave. And I don't have to attend. I can still realistically work at home, but they really, just for attendance stuff and not have any confusion with that, I can just attend. I just have to attend every day until I finish. Okay, that's fair. We weren't truly done with the attendance aspect because they wanted to get the official principal into the mix and get his opinion and his word on stuff about my situation. But that was it. I have four classes that I have to do. I can only have access to 3 of them. At the come Monday, I had finished my first one, got halfway through through the second one. Tuesday, I had finished my second one. I started my third one. And when I told my assistant principal about that, she had basically said, okay, right now, since you finished the 2 classes that we especially want you to be here for to finish, you don't have to attend the building anymore. You can just go home. And I was cool with that, but I know me. There's a reason I have a really shitty upload schedule. I procrastinate everything. I am major procrastinator right here. So, you know, God, it looks really bad. It's fine. It's fine. Like I said, I was wearing a bonnet. I don't really care to make my hair look good right now. But yeah. So the next day, kind of or jumping ahead of myself there. Basically, when we talked about it, my assistant principal said, "Okay, well, you don't have to attend next week, but for the rest of this week, considering your procrastination problem and you're worried about that, and we also want you to be sure you get your education in a timely manner and stuff, would you be chill just coming in for this entire week? You don't have to come in any other day after this week, but are you okay with coming in all day this week and just doing all the stuff so that we can see how far you can get with one of your things?" And I said, like, yeah, I'm down for that. Sure, why not? It'll help me be focused. I can concentrate better and stuff. And come Wednesday, the actual principal weighed in his word and said, just because of complications and stuff, I'm not going to really get into nitty gritty details, but because of complications and stuff, mainly regarding around me being in the building, considering that I've told everyone I'm out of the building, he said, I can still work on all this stuff. I just have to do it at home. Wednesday had to be my last day. I was dismissed for the rest of the year. So attendance-wise, I've been dismissed. I don't have to attend the building anymore. In reality, I can't attend it. I didn't get expelled or suspended or anything. It was just because of complications of my situation, it would have just been much easier. And really the only answer just seemed to be just keep doing what I'm doing. Don't show up to school. Unless I go in there, because I took a ceramics class this year. So the only reason I could come to school really is to grab my ceramics projects and stuff. So that's the only reason I can actually come into the building, is just to grab stuff. I don't even think I can attend club meetings. And for my school, we can do that. If you don't attend the school, but you have the permissions to attend a school club, you can, right? You just have to have the proper permissions. So I don't know if I would even be able to fit those proper permissions. I didn't really look into that much, but I was just you know what? Cool. That's all right. All right, sorry for that little cut there. I wasn't planning on editing the video, but I kept saying things that would essentially dox me. So don't want that. God, that hurt my eyes. My eyes been strained, super hurt recently. Only when I put my glasses on, that bad. Fucking whatever. Fuck. That was a surreal experience. But yeah, anyways. As I was saying, currently I've just been doing nothing but my credit retrieval this weekend. I've done nothing but that. And yeah, all fun, fine, and dandy. I'm on my break right now, so I my entire day was just I walked to the park, got picked up by my mom, got home, took a shower, and I've just spent fucking 8 hours so far on the credit retrieval stuff. Maybe, I don't know, I've spent so much time on it that I've lost my concept of time. But I've just been working on it. For me specifically, I have 2 parts of English that I gotta do because I failed English year round. So I have to do part A and then ask for access to part B. And because I can't see part A, or I can't see part B. I have 4 things I have to do, but I can only see 3 of them. And in order for me to see the 4th one, I need to get the 3rd one done and then send an email. So right now I've just been on that. I fucking hate English credit retrieval. I had to do a lot of credit retrieval throughout my high school life. English is so fucking tedious. And I've just learned how extra and pointless English as a class is. Sorry to go on a side tangent here, but can someone genuinely give me a actual factual legitimate reason why metaphors and similes have a difference? Can someone like actually explain that to me? Because no matter how you explain it to me, they are the same thing. The only reason that there's a difference is so that way English can just be a little more complicated of a class to learn and actually have a little bit of an educational challenge. But even then, the definition of both a metaphor and a simile are the exact same definition. The only thing that makes them different is similes use like or as. But if you really think about it, those are both things that are used to describe something. You can't really not describe something. Sorry, but they're there to like describe something with they are there to make a comparison. They're there to make a comparison to describe something. You can't really... That's like what a metaphor is. Similes are the same thing, but they use like or as. You can't really make a metaphor with that logic then, because 90% of metaphors would then be considered similes. All the metaphors you can... Like, roughly 90%. I would say, like, 99, maybe. Because now, what would actually be considered as a metaphor... Other words, you can't really use other ways to make a metaphor if you remove the things that make a metaphor, which is like or as, and it becomes a simile. Because that would mean a simile is a metaphor, and a metaphor is absolutely nothing. It just ruins the whole point of a word. Simile shouldn't even be a word. It shouldn't even be like a separate thing. That's just, speaking from a logistical standpoint, that is just dumb dog shit. But I guess I failed English, I guess, so I guess I don't know shit. I don't know why. English as a class, the curriculum that we have to learn, it just never clicks with me. Why are we... Because we're learning two words that mean the exact same thing. It's just one of them has certain requirements, even though it means the same thing as the other word that doesn't have requirements. I don't get it. It feels so extra just to make English challenging. Because if you removed like 80% of the stuff that we have to learn in an English class, which is all useless, just extra stuff, English is the easiest class to ever do. The only way to fail is to just not show up, not do anything, and just forget the class even exists. That's the only way you can realistically fail English if it didn't have 80% of useless shit. Like the 20% is what matters in that class. But that's just me. I'm on a side tangent right here. But anyways, back to the point of the video. But yeah. But anyways, long story short, I'm not doing a stream today. I already mentioned that. I won't be doing a stream tomorrow. I don't think I will. Just kind of depends on what happens. I might be focusing a lot more on editing. I might be doing a stream Sunday this week. Don't know. But yeah. I've just spent a lot more time just hanging out with friends, realistically. And also, Sloan and I want to see if Sloan and I can possibly make a video this coming week. Because, yeah, that'll be fun. But also, kind of something... I want to get to the actual main thing, at least for me, aside from just, updating you guys about the current situation I'm in. Now I want to talk about the things that will change. Well, very, very, very... I'm not going to say it's definite. I'm just going to say it's incredibly likely it's going to happen. And that is, shockingly... it's not college. I'm not going to say that. I call it fundamentally college, but it's different. I will be attending, most likely, all signs right now point to hell yeah, I definitely will, because I'm actually very interested, but I am very likely going to be joining Job Corps, or going to a Job Corps, and I'm going to be attending with Sloan. I believe, if you've been on the 011 channel, I believe at one point Job Corps was mentioned in one of the videos and stuff, and we had briefly talked about it, but wasn't enough. If not that, then if you've been in an Instagram stream of ours, you would have probably heard us talking about Job Corps. I know we've talked about it on a camera once. But, yeah. Sloan had already been pretty much set. They were going to Job Corps. And the more and more they talk to me about it, especially their mom, like Sloan and their mom had talked to me a lot about Job Corps. The more and more I kind of thought about it, the more I was like, okay, I actually might search this. I've been anti-college for like the longest time. I don't want to really, like, I say it's fundamentally college because of the way I have to describe it to my parents. But in reality, it's not, Job Corps isn't college necessarily. It's more just job training, if that makes sense. Because it's so weird. I don't consider Job Corps as college. I know many would probably say it's kind of like college. I don't think it's college. I don't really know if it would be considered a trade school. I just call it job training because I'm training in a very specific field. But anyways, yeah, I've just looked into a lot of the stuff at Job Corps, especially the one that we will be going to, and I'm gonna be honest, I am really, really excited. I genuinely do think, because right now, especially when I look at all this stuff, I genuinely do want to go. Honestly, I'm kind of at the point where, like, fuck yeah. Did Sloan respond to me? I asked if we could call in a moment to talk more about it. They haven't even seen my text yet. That's good. I have more time to yap about this. But yeah, Sloan was already heading off the Job Corps this summer, and I was thinking, well, I mean, they also said, like, if I actually do end up wanting to go, I can go with them. We can chill in the same area and like learn together. Because realistically, the last time Sloan and I have been in a school together was middle school. They ended up going to a different school in the district, and then went online. But it's like, I'd be so down to go. Not only because like I'm going with like one of my best friends of all time, but also because like I'm actually gonna get important job training. And the way I've always seen it is like training, like actually getting job training is much more important than school, in my opinion, honestly. Because with school, you're just learning like generalized things, and yeah, you can take a class that's more specific to a job, and I understand that is important, but if I compare it to like, if it's school training versus, I see it school training versus job training. I think job training is so much more valuable than school training. School training teaches you the basics. Job training will teach you the basics of the job you're going into, as well as what the fuck you're doing. I think that job training is much more important than school training. And I feel that it's important I should get some job training. It is very likely. I would say we're at a good 95% likelihood of me going to Job Corps. I'll make an update video talking about that. But I want to talk about what that'll do if I do end up like going. Unless that 5% kicks in and I end up taking the 5% of like, yeah, I'm not going. But no, I think I'm going to be going for sure. But I want to talk about what will happen at least on my channel. Assume similar things are going to happen on 011. It'll be very similar. But this is kind of where this channel gets consistent, I feel. So, the way I'm seeing it right now, we will, if we do attend, our last day is going to, not our last day. The day that we would leave would be sometime December, December. I'm leaving on Christmas? No. Not December. September. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. September. We would be leaving in September, I believe. I would have to ask Sloan about that. They know about the Job Corps stuff more than I do, especially their mom. But yeah, we would be leaving about September, which means if I do end up attending, I would not be home. I would not be able to be here, which means I wouldn't be able to post and stream and edit videos and make videos and all that stuff. I wouldn't be able to do anything on social media pretty much. So that is going to be the one big drawback. And I wouldn't be able to do that for 6 months. So I'd basically be on a hiatus for half a year because of school stuff. Well, job training specifically, which I kind of want to talk about, at least in my head, how I'm theorizing, as well as how I want to go about like still being consistent while having a lot of job training. And I think the way that I'm going to approach it, because what I do know for sure, come September, no more videos on 011, no more streams on Twitch, no more videos on the Extras channel, no more videos on the React channel, and no more videos on 011 until September. Which means my activity overall, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, I'll be more active on Instagram. I might be a bit more active on Twitter. I don't really use it, I'll be honest. I should try to, but yeah, I'd be more active on Twitter. And I feel like the main activity would be here on this channel. But even with that, I would still probably be not as active because I'm going to be more focused on the job training aspect. And since I'm going with Sloan, if I do end up recording stuff, it would probably go onto the 011 channel and all that. Now, I'm going to talk to Sloan about, making a video just more or less explaining a lot of the stuff, especially. Because I feel like it would make sense to make a video on 011 just talking about all this stuff. But I'm thinking, at least for this channel here, I want to do like a monthly update type of thing while I'm at Job Corps, where I just kind of go over everything that's kind of been going on. But that just depends on what goes. I will bring my camera for the people that are wondering about 011. I'm going to bring my camera, the camcorder that we use for the videos and stuff. So it's going to be likely that it could be possible, if I'm able to bring my camera at least. If I'm able to bring my camera, then like at off moments, what I want to try and do is at least record like a video detailing our experience throughout the 6 months that we're at Job Corps. I feel like that'd be sick. But that's just the video aspect. But more or less, I'm going to open up now. I'm going to be a little sensitive here. When it comes to this, to my personal side of the channel, and again, I kind of want to do this with 011 as well, but I want to be sure that I get all my stuff done, especially on the main channel. I want to get all my stuff done. I want to get a couple React videos out there. I want to be sure everything is finished. I will not be around. It's very likely I'm not going to be around when it comes to New Year's. So what I will end up doing is August will be the last month where I get any footage. Whatever footage I have left, I'm going to edit into a video and have it on standby so that when I do come back, I can upload a video. Now, if I do end up taking breaks or taking dismissals, like weekends, weekends off. If I do end up taking weekends off and I return to here, I will upload one of those videos so that way there could be a little bit of consistency. But if not, I'll just have a plethora of videos to post when I get back from my year at Job Corps, right? That way I can, I don't have to build up the content and stuff. As soon as I come back, I just have stuff prepared for me to go ahead and throw out to y'all. Another thing is, I would just do that for all the channels, basically. That's basically what I'd be doing. I would just do that for all of the channels. Well, definitely for the React one and the main. I would definitely do that. But yeah, when it comes to the best of 2025 video, I'm thinking what I will do for it is either, depending on how I want to approach it, I either get all my clips gathered, but I have it set to where it will premiere on New Year's, or I set it up and I just have a bit more of a lengthy intro to the video, but I just talk about how it will just be a lengthy intro, but I post it in September or have it go live in September. I'm still kind of weighing out those options, but in terms of the content stuff, I'm planning on at least having a lot of stuff stocked. I'm planning on getting my Best of 2025 out just out the gates because I know I'm not going to be able to gather any other footage while I am gone. And again, if I'm not consistent on this channel while I'm at Job Corps, or if I don't post on this channel as much while I'm on Job Corps, that would be mainly just because Sloan and I would probably be recording some stuff, just detailing our experiences and narrating and all that shit, right? But, that is in terms of the content. Now, I'm going to return because I got to use the restroom. But, the last part of the video, I'll explain. So, I went downstairs to the restroom, got a drink, and, some remainders of my webcam's in a weird angle. But, macaroni salad. Shit slaps, by the way. Well, while I was making the drink, this is just strawberry lemonade Sunny D. I grabbed the Sunny D container, I went to shake up the Sunny D. And for some reason, I didn't crack the lid at all or anything. And for some reason, that shit just exploded, and half of that container was on the kitchen. So yeah, I went through World War III there. This is the final part of the video. I just forced you guys to eat this. Or I forced you guys to watch me eat this. That's me. I'm not going to torture you guys. I just jump cut to the actual last bit of the video here. Alright, actual last part of the video here is going to be about my mental. Yeah. Easiest way to say it. Solely strictly about my mental health and just what's been going on in my head recently, especially with the new unearthing and updates of just all of this. You know, my head has been in the, God, it's so weird to explain. My mental has been in such a bad place for a long time. Like a couple months, you know. Something on my mic. I'll worry about you later. But, yeah, it's been in kind of a bad place. And I'm no stranger to terrible mental health, right? I've lived that for God knows how long. Especially with how I was growing up and everything like that. How I grew up in this world, it was just, I'm no stranger to it. This is some really bad lighting, I'm just realizing. Sorry about the bad lighting. I wonder if I can just quickly adjust that to where it just looks better. I can't tell if that's better or worse. Maybe if I stand like this, but I'm just not in frame. I don't really have a way to put that light in the back here, but what are you gonna do, I guess? I guess I'm just gonna be half lit. But, yeah. I'm no stranger to bad health. I'm not any stranger to bad mental health. I have had it for a good 6-7 years of my life. It was just straight up terrible mental health. This is like and again, kind of like when I stopped attending school, this was the first time that, like, my mental health is actually, not only did I feel my mental health repair, but I felt like that like, the repair of that mental health actually mattered. You know, like, I've always, like, been repairing my mental health, but the thing is, I just never thought the work I did truly mattered until when I stopped attending the school building, and that just really helped me. That was something I really needed help with, and that actually made me genuinely feel like not only am I repairing my mental health, but that repair would actually matter and actually have a big impact. But now, my mind is clogged. Not clogged, sorry. I almost said clotted. It is filled with a lot of things now. Again, like I said, even though it's not 100% confirmed, it's about 95%, I am very much under the impression that I'm going to go to Job Corps. And I'll have up to September. Hell, maybe even in August is when we leave. Oh, that's why the fucking I just washed this shirt. God, fuck. Anyways, like, I may even have till August before I have to leave. So, my whole thing is, like, shit. I got stuff to do. Content-wise, obviously, I'm, like, slowing down on that. I'm gonna have lesser videos planned up. I'm gonna free up my load a lot more. But there's a lot of things I want to do. Like, I have not hung out with friends in such a long time. Last week I spent so much time with some people, especially people that I don't get to see as often. Contrary to popular belief, I don't get to see Sloan a lot. I don't really get to see Sloan a lot. Both of us are just completely separate in our own lives. Also, like, older friends, like, I don't see Star in person a lot. I've rarely seen Lily in person. Like, there was like a good year or two where her and I just weren't really talking because we were that distant. But then, like, her and I are talking again. Star and I are talking again. Sloan and I, like, we've always been talking, but, like, you know, we are buddy, like, close friends and shit. And just a lot of other people I never really get the time to sit down and hang out with. Like, even if I get to do it a lot over Discord and in calls and play video games with them, I value being out in person just as much, if not much more, than playing a video game with them. If we are hanging out together and we're playing a video game in the same room, that's just like double, even better, right? Like, I like hanging out with people in person. And I'm not gonna lie when I say that one of the reasons I started doing one of the reasons I started doing content creation was because I just needed kind of, I don't know, it was getting hard for me to hang out with my friends over, like, call and stuff and just play video games. So doing content creation, my friends are really supportive of that stuff. And also, I always say, in terms of my channel, I'm just the editor. I find myself not as entertaining, especially if I only find myself entertaining if I'm, like, hanging out with friends and we're joking around with each other and stuff. I don't think I am entertaining enough to, like, you know, do a Let's Play thing, which is funny because I'm doing a Let's Play on the Extras channel. But, like, I don't think I'm entertaining enough for that. But when I'm with my friends, that's a different story, and even then, I'm still not as entertaining. The way I see it, my friends are essentially the ones making the video. I'm just the editor. I'm just the planner. Like, I basically do all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Even though, yeah, the channel is my channel, and I still have a presence, I still make sure my identity is, you know, my identity, it's known in my videos. I just think my friends do it so much better. And since I know most of them, obviously, are not going to be doing content creation, it kind of feels like, you know, I'm basically just the editor for a channel. It's like our channel. I'm just the editor. I'm just the one that made it, but it's everybody's in its own weird, funky way, right? And that could be labeled as an insecurity, and I'm just, like, you know, beating myself down and whatever. But that's just, like, genuinely how I feel about myself when it comes to the content and stuff. But that's also just my way of saying, like, my friends are super important to me, because they help me with a lot. Now, obviously, I've had to cut some friendships, which were very hard times, don't get me wrong, but yeah. Especially when those friendships came from relationships, or even just people in general I've had to cut. Especially when it comes to dating life. Like, one of the people I haven't cut, but I'm just not sure if we're even, like, friends anymore. We haven't talked in, like, a long-ass time, but it's just whatever. But also, confidence is a big thing. That's what I wanted to allude to as well. Confidence. I suffer a lot with just not having self-confidence. I am very doubtful about myself. I just can't bring myself up to that level. And just a bunch of other stuff. But after just not really attending school and going out and hanging out with people, that's just helped me a lot. And I think it's so important that has helped me. But now I kind of am in this crisis. Crisis is too heavy. I guess jeopardy is the best way to say it. Because if I'm going to Job Corps, I'm not going to be able to see any of my friends, aside from Sloan, because I'm going to be going with Sloan. I won't be able to see anybody else for the next 6 months when we go. So I want to hang out with as many of my friends as possible in person, preferably. And, that's going to be tough to do, but I want to hang out with them in person as much as I can before I leave. And that is going to require a lot. I have a lot of friends, surprisingly. That feels like bragging rights when I say it out loud. But it shocks me sometimes how many friends I do have. I guess this is what happens when you're, incredibly friendly. I don't know. I just never, check myself to see, how friendly I am. But having all of those friends, those people do help me. I want to hang out with all of them as much as possible before, we go out. Right now, currently in the works, I'm making some plans with Melanie to hang out with her and shit. I want to be able to plan an event with the boys. Funny enough, I want to see if possible, there could be an event planned with just the whole group where we go out to the Play Live that Sloan and I always go to, and we just play some games there. We just have an awesome party there. I really want to try and do that. I want to hang out with them as much as possible. So many other things going through my head. I want to be sure, I've got some stuff prepared and stuff. I've got I make sure my friendships are solid and shit. We are together and whatever. I want to even some of the more specific things. I'll be fragile here. I mean the mental health thing after my last relationship, I just mentally, I was back in, I kind of just went back to that state of I don't want it, no. And slowly getting out of it again. And I have been liking somebody for a really good amount of time now. It's super on and off mentally. I figured out why it was so on and off too. The wonders of actually being able to have the time to study your own mental health. I'm pretty sure I have at least figured out why it's always been so on and off, especially with that specific person. And I'm not gonna say it out loud, obviously, but I'm learning about how my mental health likes to how my brain likes to work as well, right? Which I'm so glad I took the time off, but I want to also be able to figure all that stuff out before I leave. I want to confess to... I want to, figure out a way to confess to my crush before I leave. So, wish me luck on that. That's going to take a lot of courage. I can't really think of all the stuff off the top of my head, and a lot of the things I'm thinking of are a little too personal for me, considering how open of a book I am. But, I mean, I want to do so much stuff before I leave for Job Corps. Assuming that I even get in. Well, I probably am going to get in, so that's more or less assuming I actually sign in. Unless that 5%, like I said, unless that 5% just, I guess, comes in clutch or something, and I don't go. But I do want to go. I do want to actually commit to Job Corps. That's the only thing I've that's the only thing school-wise that I willingly want to commit to. Willingly as in it is not a requirement by any means type of thing. But yeah, it's just I want to commit to this stuff. And I want to do all this stuff, but I have a lot of other stuff that I want to do. My hair keeps popping out, sorry. But I got a lot of other stuff that I want to do before leaving and all that stuff. There's just so much on the table. And even though my mental health is still repairing, my head is so clouded with all this stuff. There's so much I have to get done. And yeah, that was pretty much the gist of it. It's there's a lot I got on the table right now, but yeah, I'm going to make an update video if I am going to Job Corps, just to let you guys know, hey, I am going to Job Corps, as well as if I get more information about some of the stuff and whatever, and also just kind of want to talk about some more stuff. I'm essentially treating this channel like a diary, it feels. The occasional diary that I find. But, that's just, I guess, the way I'm going to be open with you guys. and realistically, the only way I'm gonna be able to post content on this channel. But like, you know, I feel like it's important and all that. So yeah, there will be a similar video if you follow 011. If you don't, please do. But there will be a similar video that will go up most likely, and it'll be Sloan and I just talking about like what's gonna be happening. And while I'm at Job Corps, I will be trying to, like, you know, every now and then get a video out here of me doing some dumb shit, you know, the good shit, cool stuff. Or I might go on a rant or do like a check-in and whatever. Something. I'll be able to post something. In terms of the 011 stuff, you know, all that. I guess I'll just let you know, like, health-wise, how does it go? Also, with just all my other extra stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be able to really post as much between this video and the rest of the month, or the rest of the summer, before Job Corps, again, assuming that 95% becomes 100%. But, I wouldn't count on it. But if I do, then it'll probably just be, again, just like, hey, I made it, I'm going, what's up, just want to say, hey, thanks, and all that shit, right? You know, sorry for the long videos on this channel as well. I know a lot of the videos are long, but it's just because, you know, I don't really want to edit a lot of this stuff because I don't want to go through and, like, cut out all the stuttering because it's me. I stutter a lot. I just try to do everything in one take. So, sorry for the stuttering. I just feel like this is important information I would like to get out, especially when it comes to just, like, my presence online and stuff. But, yeah. That's pretty much it for the video. Again, I will let you know if something new comes up. I'm gonna put my bonnet back on because this tuft of the hair just keeps fucking annoying me. But yeah, I'll let you know just kind of what happens, how life evolves for me, and yeah, I'll just keep the updates going. But other than that, love you guys. Love you, love you, love you. You guys are awesome. And I just got hair in my eye. Ow. I got hair in my eye. That shit hurt. But yeah, just thank you. Thank you for not only, like, you know, just sitting here and actually giving me your time. I understand it's probably gonna be an hour-long video. I don't really know, but thank you for giving me your time. It's important that, to me, it's important that I get, you know, I talk about stuff like this. And I'm very happy that you actually take the time out of your day to listen. Sorry for how long these videos are, but I'll make them slower. I'll make them shorter. I'll figure out a way to make them shorter. I probably should start preparing a script again. I already have to prepare a script for planned videos. I don't want to prepare a script for a vlog channel because that's just going to be so, not redundant, but like time consuming and just unnecessary. But if it gets the video shorter, I'll script it. I'll just put things on a script so I can remember what to say and include the details necessary. But yeah, I think, yeah, alright, my eyes are good. But yeah, other than that, just thank you guys a lot. Have a great rest of your day or night or whatever time it is for you. And yeah, I will see you next time in the next 3-hour-long video. The webcam just lost focus. It ain't gonna focus. But yeah, the next however long of a video I post when I post it, I will see you then. Later.